The day began with a surprising warmth, the kind that makes you pause and wonder if winter has forgotten its place. Sunlight filtered through bare branches, casting long shadows across the quiet streets. The air felt gentle, almost spring-like, and for a moment, it seemed as if the season had shifted overnight. For late December in central Illinois, such mildness was rare. Lawns remained green, untouched by frost or snow, and the usual bite of winter was nowhere to be found. It was the kind of day that invited people outside, drawing them from their homes to savor the unexpected gift. Families across Macon County took full advantage of the unseasonably warm Sunday, with temperatures climbing into the mid-60s, more reminiscent of April than December. Children laughed as they played in yards and parks, their coats forgotten on fences. Neighbors gathered on porches, sharing stories and enjoying the rare comfort of a winter day that felt like spring. The calm of a holiday weekend settled over Mount Zion and Long Creek. Streets were quiet, save for the occasional sound of distant laughter or a dog barking. There was a sense of ease in the air, a collective sigh of relief from the usual winter gloom. The gentle breeze and bright, cloudless sky gave no hint of what was coming. The sun shone down, warming faces and lifting spirits, while the wind carried only the promise of another peaceful afternoon. Yet behind the scenes, meteorologists watched their screens with growing concern. A strong cold front was barreling toward central Illinois, and the clash between the warm, moist air and the incoming chill could spell trouble. Weather maps lit up with warnings, and radar screens showed a line of storms gathering strength to the west. But for most residents, the signs and warnings were far from mind. They simply enjoyed the rare break from winter's chill, grateful for a day that felt like a gift. Some fired up grills, others took long walks, and many simply sat outside, soaking in the warmth and the peace. The peace, however, was deceptive. A quiet before a sudden dramatic turn. In the distance, the sky began to darken, but few paid it any mind, trusting that the calm would last. No one suspected that this ordinary Sunday would soon become unforgettable. The routines of daily life continued. Laundry hung out to dry, groceries carried in, children called home for dinner, each moment unaware of the storm brewing just beyond the horizon. The calm before the storm was fleeting, soon to be replaced by fear and the incredible power of a December tornado. The sky, once so blue, would soon turn menacing, and the gentle breeze would give way to roaring winds. In just a few hours, everything would change. The memory of this quiet Sunday afternoon would linger, marked forever by the sudden violent arrival of nature's fury. Around 3 o'clock, the sky began to change. What had been a bright, peaceful afternoon quickly shifted as the first hints of gray crept across the horizon. The sun disappeared behind a thick curtain of clouds, casting an eerie shadow over the neighborhood. Dark clouds gathered, swirling and churning in the sky, while the wind picked up, rattling windows and sending leaves swirling down the street. The temperature dropped sharply, and the air felt heavy, charged with anticipation. Suddenly, cell phones buzzed and vibrated with urgent emergency alerts. Screens lit up with warnings as a tornado watch was issued for central Illinois. The familiar chime of notifications was now a signal of danger, not convenience. On TV screens, meteorologists appeared with serious faces, their voices steady but urgent. They urged everyone to have a safety plan ready, explaining the risks and showing the projected path of the storm. The time for relaxing was over. Anxiety replaced the afternoon calm. People peered out their windows, searching the sky for any sign of the approaching storm, their faces tense with worry. Residents moved quickly, gathering loved ones, pets, and essentials. They headed to basements or interior rooms, grabbing flashlights, phones, and emergency kits. Some double-checked weather apps, while others called friends and neighbors to make sure everyone was safe. Outside, rain began to pound against the windows, drumming louder and louder as the wind howled through the trees. Branches bent and swayed, and the storm's intensity grew with every passing minute. Then, just before 3:30, a new alert blared, a tornado warning. Sirens wailed in the distance, echoing through the streets. The message was clear: take shelter immediately. The storm was moving fast, 45 miles per hour, leaving little time to react. On radar, the swirling mass of red and purple barreled toward the community, relentless and unstoppable. The sky turned nearly black, the roar of the wind grew, and families huddled together in basements, clutching each other and hoping the storm would pass them by. The world outside was unrecognizable, transformed by the fury of nature. The threat was now real and immediate. In those tense moments, all anyone could do was wait, listen, and hope for safety as the storm raged overhead. The tornado's arrival was unforgettable. It began as a low rumble, quickly building to a deafening roar, like a freight train barreling past. Pressure dropped, ears popped, and houses shook violently. Windows shattered, wood splintered, and the wind's fury was everywhere. Outside, a swirling vortex of debris filled the sky. Trees snapped, objects flew, and chaos reigned. The tornado's dark funnel moved with terrifying speed, leaving destruction in its wake. In just 3 minutes, the world was transformed. When the roar faded, an eerie silence settled. People emerged from shelters, uncertain and afraid of what they'd find. Their peaceful neighborhood was now unrecognizable. Stepping outside, residents faced devastation. Familiar streets were buried under debris. Homes on Jeanette and Skyline Drives were hardest hit. Roofs were torn off, walls collapsed, and windows shattered. Uprooted trees lay across yards and cars, while personal belongings littered the ground. The neighborhood looked like a war zone. Fences flattened, sheds destroyed, cars battered. The sheer scale of wreckage was overwhelming, blocking streets and driveways. For homeowners, the loss was deeply personal. Memories and security scattered in minutes. Shock and disbelief filled the air as families surveyed the damage. The tornado had not just destroyed buildings, it had upended lives. Yet even in shock, a determination to recover began to take root. The long road to rebuilding had begun. Amid the destruction, stories of survival emerged. On Skyline Avenue, a family huddled together as their roof was torn away. Miraculously, no one was hurt. Pets sensed danger, hiding in safe places. Emotional reunions followed as families searched the debris. Neighbors checked on each other, calling out and offering shelter before emergency crews arrived. The instinct to help was immediate. Blankets, food, and comfort shared among those who lost everything. Many survived because they heeded warnings and took shelter in basements or interior rooms. The lack of serious injuries was a testament to preparation and community awareness. Survival was not just luck, it was quick thinking and caring for one another. In the face of disaster, the community's resilience shone through. The facts tell the story's scale. Numbers and data points, when pieced together, reveal the true magnitude of what happened that day. Each statistic is a window into the chaos and the courage that unfolded as the storm swept through. The tornado touched down near Long Creek at exactly 3:29 p.m., its path cutting a jagged line across central Illinois. It raced east at 45 miles per hour, giving little warning to those in its way. The storm's speed meant that every second counted for residents and emergency officials alike. It was on the ground for just 3 minutes, but the destruction was immense. In that short span, dozens of homes were damaged or destroyed, and entire neighborhoods were left unrecognizable. The tornado's brief but violent touch left a scar that will take months, if not years, to heal. Timely tornado watches and warnings gave residents precious minutes to seek shelter. Sirens blared and phones buzzed with alerts, prompting families to rush to basements and safe rooms. These warnings, delivered just in time, made all the difference. No serious injuries were reported, a testament to effective alerts and public response. The community's quick action, combined with the dedication of first responders, helped prevent what could have been a far more tragic outcome. Emergency crews arrived within minutes, searching for survivors and assessing damage. Their training and coordination were put to the test as they navigated blocked roads and unstable structures, ensuring everyone was accounted for. Authorities urged the public to stay clear, so crews could work safely. Barricades and warning signs went up quickly, keeping curious onlookers away from dangerous areas and allowing emergency teams to focus on their critical work. Nearly 2,400 customers lost power as trees and lines fell. Utility crews worked through the night, braving hazardous conditions to restore electricity and clear debris from the streets, helping the community begin its recovery. Survey teams from the National Weather Service arrived to assess the tornado's strength. Their detailed inspections and measurements would help determine the storm's official rating and guide future preparedness efforts. Technology, preparation, and rapid response saved lives. Emergency operations centers coordinated efforts using real-time data, while first responders relied on training and teamwork to manage the crisis. The numbers reveal both the storm's power and the community's resilience. In the aftermath, neighbors came together, volunteers distributed supplies, and a spirit of unity emerged. The statistics are sobering, but they also tell a story of hope, strength, and a community determined to rebuild. The tornado left thousands in darkness. Downed power lines and snapped poles meant no heat, no lights, and no way to contact loved ones. As night fell, dropping temperatures made the situation even more dangerous. Families bundled in blankets, relying on neighbors with generators for warmth. Utility crews worked through the night, braving debris and freezing winds to restore power. Simple tasks became challenges. The silence was broken only by wind and distant generators. Yet hardship brought people together, sharing batteries, hot drinks, and information. The outage forced everyone to slow down and rely on each other. The return of power, house by house, was a sign of hope and progress. Recovery was underway, one light at a time. Before official help arrived, the community rallied. Neighbors checked on each other, searched for pets, and offered shelter and food. Volunteers with chainsaws and trucks cleared debris, covered roofs, and lifted spirits. Local businesses donated meals and supplies. Churches and centers opened their doors. The response was immediate and heartfelt, a community taking care of its own. Strangers became friends, united by purpose and compassion. The tornado could not break their spirit. It brought them closer. New friendships formed, old ones strengthened. The image of neighbors helping neighbors became the storm's most enduring legacy. Today, scars of the tornado remain. Blue tarps on roofs, empty spaces where trees once stood. But hope and determination fill the air. Families rebuild, each new roof a symbol of progress. The sounds of construction have replaced the storm's roar. The community is stronger, more prepared, and united. Lessons in safety and preparedness will be passed down for generations. The story of Mount Zion and Long Creek is one of resilience and courage. They faced adversity with compassion and strength. Their journey is an inspiration, a testament to hope, unity, and the unbreakable human spirit.